My name is Linda, and I'm 51 years old. What I'm about to share may sound absolutely insane, and believe me, I wish it wasn't true. But I need anyone to hear me out, because the way people have reacted, the way I've been treated, it's made me question my own sanity. Up until just a few months ago, I genuinely thought I had a perfect life. 33 years, married to the same man, 3 incredible grown kids, a cozy home, in a nice neighborhood, basically, the full suburban dream. Before we dive into this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into it. Everything started unraveling over something that was supposed to be a light-hearted family activity. For Paul's birthday, he's my husband, our youngest, Jake, got him one of those ancestry DNA kits. It was meant to be fun, a little family bonding moment. Maybe find out we were part Irish or discover a distant cousin. We all joined in, laughed about it, teased each other. It felt innocent, but it turned out to be the single worst decision we ever made. Before I get into the heart of it, I should explain a little about our family. Paul has always been a quiet man, steady, reliable, and well, not the most emotionally expressive. He went to work, came home, watched TV, and repeated the cycle without much disruption. I used to joke that being married to Paul was like living with a bookshelf always there, always stable, but rarely interactive. I was the one who handled the emotions, the birthdays, the vacations, the kids' drama. He was more like the calm background noise of our lives, and I used to find comfort in that steadiness. Still, there were times when I felt like I was carrying the whole emotional weight of our family on my own. We have 2 daughters, Rachel and Emily, and our son Jake. The girls are 29 and 26, both working in the city now, doing amazing things with their careers. Jake, 22, is still figuring himself out. Normal stuff. All 3 of them are wonderful, and despite everything, I'd do anything for them. So the DNA results came back about 6 weeks after we sent them in. I was in the kitchen making dinner when I noticed a sudden silence coming from the living room. I peeked around the corner and saw all 3 kids huddled around a laptop, their faces pale and frozen. My gut twisted immediately. I could feel something was very wrong before a word was said. Rachel turned to me first, her expression unreadable, like she was seeing me for the first time, and didn't like what she saw. Then she said it. The DNA results showed that neither she nor Emily shared any genetic connection to Paul. 0. Jake, on the other hand, matched perfectly. I felt the floor disappear beneath me. My legs barely held me up. I wanted to scream, to deny it, to make it not real, but I couldn't. My mind was racing, my heart pounding. All I could think was, this isn't how it was supposed to happen. We were supposed to find out we had Scandinavian roots or something silly, not blow up our entire family. I didn't know what to say. What could I say? So I did what I think any human being in that moment might do. I ran to the bedroom and locked the door. I needed space to breathe, to think. I stayed in that room for 2 hours, paralyzed by fear and shame, because I knew, deep down, I had always known this day could come. When I finally walked back out, they were all sitting at the kitchen table like they were attending a funeral. Paul looked shattered, blank, and cold. The girls were teary-eyed. Jake looked completely disoriented. I sat down, took a deep breath, and told them the truth. His name was David. He was our neighbor, 3 houses down, back when we first moved into the neighborhood. A good guy, helpful, kind, always around. He and Paul got along well. They watched games in the garage, worked on projects. David was friendly and easy to talk to, and when Paul started working longer hours, trying to build his career, I found myself spending more and more time around David. I was in my late 20s, home alone with a toddler, isolated and lonely. David was present. He noticed me, and that was something I hadn't felt from Paul in a long time. The affair started when I was about 4 years into the marriage. It wasn't planned, and it didn't feel like something scandalous at the time. It just sort of happened. It went on for 4 years. 4 years of sneaking around, of pretending, of justifying it to myself. Rachel and Emily were both born during that time. And yes, I knew there was a chance they weren't Paul's, but I didn't want to believe it. I hoped I'd gotten lucky. That's how I coped. David eventually moved away after getting transferred for work. That was the end of it. I took it as a sign to commit fully to my marriage. I never told Paul. I didn't see the point. Why hurt him? Why destroy the life we had built over something that was already over? But now, here we were, 3 decades later, with the truth sitting on the table in front of us. Paul asked questions, so many questions, about dates, about how long it lasted, about what else I'd kept from him, and I tried to explain, as calmly and honestly as I could, that this wasn't some reckless fling. I had been young, confused, and emotionally neglected. I had ended it myself. I had been faithful ever since, but he didn't care. He just kept pressing for answers I couldn't give him. He was devastated. The girls were heartbroken, and poor Jake was trying to hold it together for all of us, but I could see how overwhelmed he was. Paul asked me to leave that night. After 33 years of marriage, I packed a bag and drove to my sister Karen's house. She's been supportive but judgmental too. Everyone's judging me, even people I thought were friends. Paul has been telling people his version of the story, leaving out the part where he was emotionally absent for years, where I felt like a ghost in my own home. And now everyone sees him as some wounded saint and me as the villain who destroyed her perfect family. Worse yet, Paul filed for divorce. He got a lawyer who's been digging into every corner of my life, my finances, old messages, anything to make me look like I've been hiding things for decades. They even found things like an old credit card I didn't tell him about right away, or times I told him I was going to lunch with a friend, but just went shopping alone, normal stuff. But now it's being twisted into this narrative of deceit. Our daughters barely talk to me now. They're civil, but distant. Rachel even told me she's disappointed in the way I handled everything. My sister keeps telling me to own my mistakes. I have. I've owned them over and over again. But apparently, that's not enough. And Paul, he's moved on. He's seeing someone now, a younger woman, from his hiking group. He's lost weight, picked up new hobbies, smiling in pictures again. Meanwhile, I'm sitting alone in a guest room, being painted as the monster who lied for 30 years. The other day I saw them together, Paul and this new woman at the grocery store, laughing, holding hands. He looked right at me, and then right through me, like I was nobody, like I never mattered. And maybe that's the part that hurts the most. Because I did love him. I loved our life. And despite everything, I believed what we had was real. But apparently, one mistake, one long-buried truth was enough to erase everything we built together. So here I am, 6 months later, alone, divorced, rejected by the man I gave my life to and judged by the people I once called family and friends. And I still ask myself, what was I supposed to do differently? Because I made one wrong decision a lifetime ago, and it cost me everything.